Good morning, everyone. Good Sunday morning to you all. I'm back in St. Pete. It's June the 1st. I cannot believe it is already June. If somebody could give me a sound check, that would be awesome. Um, awesome. Thank you, M. Hart, Pongo, Laurie. Good to have you guys. Thank you for being here. The sound's not, excuse me, if the sound's not good, let me know, please. Well, I think we're going to have a good session this morning. Um, I've been out for a week in Las Vegas at the Bitcoin conference, which was really, really, really fascinating. Um, and I want to get this minute out of my mouth. I wanted to first really thank everyone that I was really stunned. I arrived um, Monday night in Vegas, and by Tuesday morning, there was about 35,000 people there, and I cannot tell you how many people, and some of you know who you are, that came up to me. I'd be walking, there'd be, I don't know, 3 or 4 thousand people in a hallway, all going to the same place, and I started hearing "I am," and uh, I'm walking. Some guy says "I am," and I was just so absolutely touched. Uh, really, I didn't know. One, I didn't know that I was going to go to the Bitcoin conference and have people walk up to me and go, "I am." I just, and I don't mean 1 or 2 people. Okay, probably 20 people, 20 or 30 people stopped me and said they've been watching and that they really dug it. And well, I'm really glad to be here. Okay, because just the feedback from you guys is just absolutely spectacular, and really, really appreciate it. Met some really wonderful people, and it made me think about how wonderful the world is. Really, I mean, there's a lot of really great people in the world, uh, and there's some ding dongs, but there's some really great people in the world, and people are really trying. They want to be better. Um, anyway, it was it stunned me. It was the highlight of my whole event. I'll tell you the other thing that was really fascinating was how many people are being impacted by this type of interconnection, interaction, whether it's on X and we're doing business stuff or finance stuff. People are giving me, and I saw other people getting tremendous feedback. It's almost like we're starting to act like an army, a decentralized, almost voluntary. Uh, for instance, I saw a man there that I had met once, that I met through Spaces. He's involved in the finance space, and I saw Thomas. His name was Thomas Young, and I saw him taking on roles. He's an older gentleman. I mean, he's not. He's a mature professional. I think he's involved in politics in his local area, and he's walking around with a camera, filling in the jobs that other people, including myself, was doing. And it's just everyone's pulling together. It's just absolutely amazing that people are pulling together and picking up jobs and doing things that they're not asked to do. Um, something really cool is happening. So I'm really excited about the possibilities, and most certainly this Sunday morning thing for me, it is we are doing more good than we know. Okay, I'm just going to encourage everyone. um, to ask yourself or your God or the universe or whatever it is that you reach out to, knowing that you're there's something bigger. Okay, Steve, it's hard for me to think that I'm going to reach out to anything if I don't. If I think I am the nuts and the end solution to all things, then I'm not going to ask anything or anyone for any help or believe that there's any positive energy in the universe that I could tap into. I'm going to beg you guys to tap into whatever's real for you, even if you and I most certainly have been there from time to time where I don't even know what I'm communicating to. I'm just having faith that there's something out there, and I hide behind the humility um, of just being human and going, look, I can't possibly understand God. I cannot possibly understand the size of the universe. So what I have to do is I just have to have faith that there's something else out there. There's some energy. I mean, I actually think about it as a frequency. Can I tap into the frequency? And I'll tell you, being around 35,000 people who, no matter where they were in the socioeconomic, um, you know, hierarchy, these people, and look, I'm not really talking about Bitcoin, although I will say, um, this community is spectacular. I mean, you want to talk about having a cool church. Um, or a cool community to go to. And I know some people talk about Bitcoin as a cult. I don't see it that way, but I do see it as a really cool community. And there are some people that are more prone to that cultish behavior than others. So whatever, okay, I would rather have a little cultish behavior and have a cool team or a cool church or a cool communion of people, a commune, a tribe, an army, dude. I have always wanted to be a part of an army, a good army. Okay. You know, I'll tell you something. I have asked, and I'm actually starting to challenge my own belief in my own unbelief or unknowingness of God. Uh, because the more I am challenged and say that I don't understand God, the more I actually think there is something. Because this cannot just all be random. I mean, it could be, but sure seems odd. Okay, I am most convinced I decide where I am going to fit in the energy stream. I just believe that. Okay, I've stuck my freaking nose into negative energy streams, and I get exactly what I get. And I've stuck my nose into, and I'm doing that really right now. My action right now. In fact, I will tell you that my actions are actually now leading my feelings, and my actions have been leading my feelings for some time. Had I let my feelings lead me, I probably wouldn't even be here. I would have probably just been sitting in my emotions, worried about what you were going to think or what I was going to do or how I look or blah, 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 blah. Instead, I just started taking action, man. See, and I think that's really, really important because we can do this I am thing. I am. But at some point, I have to start taking action. Now, for me, the yeah. Thank you, Ed. I am waking up. Um, might take me a little while to turn on here, but I'll get all the little. See, because I've asked the universe every time I come in here. I ask the universe, "Hey, man, help me. Like, talk. You know, I'm the paintbrush. I am only the paintbrush. Um, See, for me, that's the right. I think that's actually the right thing for everyone to think of themselves, and we would probably. I think probably as a race, we might do better to realize, that where I'm going with this is that I have to be careful about what I'm saying to myself. And we've covered that, right? We know that the more I talk to myself, whether it's positive or negative, um, probably going to throw that frequency on me, right? Where I was headed with the human part was the more I think I know, um, well, the more I know, the older I am and the more I learn, literally, I am convinced now that the more I do the shaping of my mind, I am, and that it actually is an action, because I can't just sit there and go, I am, and not do anything. It's in some way shaped, and I know I'm all over the place this morning. I'm sorry, I've not had a lot of sleep the whole week, um, and that's no excuse. Okay, I'm just all over the place, but what I noticed being around so many people this week was, if I'm not careful, I'll let all types of frequencies impact me, right? I have to bring my frequency to the table and understand that my frequency is really, it does impinge on other people. Okay. It does impinge on other people, and it's contagious to other people. When I saw so many people coming up to me going, "Hey, I am," I mean, like, if anything, it's like almost like a flywheel. Like it then gives me energy and it keeps me on the right track. I really want to thank everyone for being here. I mean, it's really spectacular to me that we're doing this. 1,000 people in the room. I want to give special thanks to somebody that helped me not only in Vegas, but they helped me. They were trying to get me set up on Rumble. We still haven't been able to do that. Dana, Hal, awesome human being, young lady that works in the Bitcoin industry. You're always so helpful. I just really, really appreciate that about you. You're a kind human being. Um, and we need more people that are just genuine and kind and don't have an agenda. I'll just leave it at that. I think that's really a beautiful thing. I am a very. I was with my brother this week, and somebody asked him about me in an interview, and he made the comment about that I'm very, very people oriented, a connection, and that most certainly has been true for me. That I'm more interested in the relationship with people than what it is I'm actually going to do with them transactionally, um, which creates a bit of a conflict for a business guy or even a guy that wants to maybe have relationships to ensure that it doesn't become transactional. I cannot have an agenda, right? And I think I try to bring the I am part to relationships and not think about what it is I'm going to achieve with another human being, but actually I am and they are. Dana is, or Bob is, or Mary is, or Charlie is. And to make sure that my beingness isn't uh, trying to alter or manipulate in any way their own beingness, right? So, anyway, Dana, thank you so much. You're an awesome human being. You set a really good example for me and other people. One of the things I learned this weekend is I need to be more organized. I'm with the I just need to be more organized with my energy and my time. It is not unlimited, but I should say I am full of energy. Okay, that's what I should be saying. I am full of energy. I am focused, and I am an awesome human being. Let me tell you something. Okay, this is absolutely working for me. If you would have seen me 4 years ago, I was in an absolute shitstorm, and have worked through an amazing amount of friction and gravity, and I'm not bragging. Okay, I promise you, I am not bragging. I made a bunch of mistakes, surrounded myself with some people that I shouldn't have been around. Got involved with a business that I didn't really love, um, and didn't know all that when I was doing it, of course. And you won't know it either. But there were most certainly red flags and indicators. And one of the things I want to do this morning, I don't know that I'm going to do it right now, actually. Um, yeah, I think I'll wait for that. It's just a big win I wanted to share with you guys regarding all this legal stuff, but I'll get to that. Um, okay, let's get this thing kicked off now that we got 1,000 people, and I have wasted most people's time. Hey, I want to show you guys something. I posted it earlier. Let's see if I can actually share the screen. Here we go. And where are you? Huh, there we go. See this? See this picture right here? This picture sat on my didn't sit on my. I was given this picture for a Christmas present by the senior vice president of British Gas, who was responsible for this facility. I used to rent a lot of capacity. In fact, I probably taught these guys how to sell their capacity of natural gas storage. Um, this picture, this image, sat in my office on an office wall for 4 years. One afternoon for lunch every 6 months, talking about relationships. Every 6 months, I would have lunch with this man. His name was Nigel. Won't share his last name, but his name was Nigel. And Nigel was responsible for this entire facility for British Gas. And at lunch, he sat down and said, "Hey, we're gonna auction off this facility." And they were a monopoly player. And anyway, within 45 minutes, without boring you, within 45 minutes to an hour, I had convinced him to take back to his management team that I would go to my company and that we would buy this facility for, I think, 575 million pounds. I asked him, "What do you guys want for it?" 575. I said, "Give me 92 days to do this deal." And in 92 days, we own this entire facility. Now, guys, like, that's a 575 million start. That's $800 million deal. I've been in the UK for 5 years. I had lunch with this guy every 3 to 6 months. We did business together sometimes. We didn't do business together sometimes if the prices weren't right. But I consistently met with this cat, and I have always been straight up. Some of you guys that know me, I will share. I saw online today people think I'm overly confident. I don't tend to be overly confident, but I do. The few things I know about, I am confident in my debate on it. I'm also confident that if I'm proven If someone else brings more data, I'm confident I can change my mind. However, um, man, I'm all over the place this morning. However, having a relationship with this gentleman of extreme credibility and respect, this guy knew no matter what anybody said about me or my personality or my accent, um, he knew that I would transact. He had never, ever had an experience where I said I'd do something where I did not follow through. That's what got me the 92 days. And for a guy like me that came from America to convince a monopoly to sell that facility to us, and they really wanted to sell it to Royal Dutch Shell and Mobil and BP, staggering. Okay. And the only way I did it was because I had that bloody image up there. And this is what I was talking about last week. I saw that image every day, consciously and subconsciously. I probably didn't even fully recognize that it was on the wall many times. For instance, why am I putting so this is my trick. Okay, it's a trick. It is I am. I'm taking I am to another level. I'm actually looking at images. I want you to start putting up pictures and images of the things you want to obtain. For instance, these paintings, I surround myself with art. Okay, I'm actually surrounding myself with art that's mine and art that is other people's. Um, the reason I'm doing that is I keep wanting to surround myself with lots of colors, lots of paint, lots of art, and I want to do my own stuff, and I want to see it on a wall, and I want to continue upgrading, like I'm improving here. Okay. You see, Jennifer Selvin says vision boards are incredibly powerful. I have always said, and I haven't always taken my advice on this, twice I have broken this rule, and both times it messed me up. If you can't draw a picture of what you're thinking about, if you can't draw a picture of a problem or a business opportunity, I will never do business with anyone else ever again if you can't draw a picture. What I'm doing here is I am impinging upon my conscious and unconscious mind that I am going to be a painter, man. I am an artist. Okay. Now, I don't know why I need to keep doing this, but I think that sooner or later, if I just keep doing this over and over and over, I will become a decent artist, maybe even a good one. And what I'm trying to prove is that would be now, oh, wow, natural gas, natural gas, electricity in another country, payments, Bitcoin, a 5-year litigation that I am most certainly going to defeat if I haven't already done so. And this church that seems to be going well. And my life that's going well, and the amount of people at this juncture in my life, the amount of people that are coming into my universe. Look, some, maybe 5 or 10% of you guys will go, wow, that's just bragging. Okay, I am not bragging. I am telling you, I have been blessed. Okay, just by doing and reading and being really always pretty lost, always thinking that I was way over my skis. I feel like I'm over my skis right now. Okay, but the action carried me through. My brother does action better than anybody I know. It's unbelievable. Okay, that guy commits, does action better than anyone I've ever known. But you cannot tell me, based on all the books I've read, and we're going to talk about some of those books today. In fact, I have to show this to you, okay? upside down. I don't even know if I can. After the last session we had last week, and if I'm boring you guys with this story, this just ping me. But after last week, we talked about books, right? I painted about 20 on Sunday. I must have painted 20 small. I don't know, they're about so big. They're on paper, oils on paper, and my God, man! When I was talking about the books, probably not going to be able to find it here. When I was talking about the books, I just started doing. I'm not going to be able to find it, bloody thing. I started putting together a compilation of this concept of reading, and man, I would really like to find this thing. It's one of the best pieces I've ever done, and I believe it was done. It was the culmination of coming out of this bloody church. Okay, like there's something going on with us all having being together and pulling power together. I feel it. Okay, so you guys can say I'm crazy, um, but I keep saying I'm getting more out of this than everyone else, which makes me feel a little guilty. But I think that's just the way it works. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. And look, I know my intention's good. Okay, so if you have good intention and you have action, that action becomes more and more and more refined. I mean, you can't just be a buffoon, right? You have to modulate without adapting, but modulate your messaging for the audience. You know, what is it I'm trying to convey? What's in here that I'm trying to convey, right? What is it here that I'm trying to convey? What am I trying to achieve? And that, okay, your deal may be different. You may want a fancy car. You may want to be a race car driver. You may want to be a rocket scientist. I don't know. Okay, but I know that my daughter draws veterinarian. She draws a plane with vet, elephants on it and ships, and she is most certainly creating her future today in images. And I think we like literally like images are awesome. Okay, draw, draw, draw. You don't have to be a good drawer. Start doodling and stick. I mean, really impregnate, implant um, what it is you're trying to create. Okay, I'm just gonna um, share this one more time. I did this deal in 92 days. Let me tell you something. Enron freaked out. The entire European energy market was absolutely shocked that some guy from Lake Charles, Louisiana, come in here and do this deal. Okay, this is the prize product of an energy player. This has happened over and over and over again. Grant called me up one day. He saw the news in Reuters. He said, "Bro, how did you do that deal?" And I literally said, "Grant," and this is the point I'm trying to make about the shame or the humility or the ego or the whatever happens to someone's ego when they start thinking they're so special. I literally said to Grant, "Bro, I just had the picture on my wall for 4 years. I had the picture on my wall for 4 years. Literally, I took zero credit for this. I still take zero credit for it. I went to lunch with a guy that I go to lunch with every 6 months. That's my operating principle. I don't need to have business with you. Some of you know that. Oh, wow, Gary takes me to lunch or goes to lunch with me, and sometimes we don't even talk about, exactly, when it works, dude, it works. You got to get in the flow. Okay. And if you're in a negative flow right now, you've got to understand, hey, I am in a negative flow. Okay. It's okay to acknowledge I am in a negative flow right now. Let me get honest. Bash your head up against the mirror. Okay. I am in a negative flow. What the hell is wrong with me? Okay. How do I get out of this negative flow? Right. And the way you get out of it is I am a positive flow. I am. Okay. Go jump in the swimming pool. But when you're down, dude. Okay. Like this is the piece that people don't, people that are, hey guys, y'all guys that are coming up on stage, I'm not going to have anybody on stage today. Appreciate you. Look, you have to have an ego and you have to be confident to get things done. You have to at least, you can't walk into a space and look insecure. So you have to like put on the armor. You have to put on the dress. You have to put on the badge. Okay, you got. Hey, this. Okay, I'm going to do something right now. I feel insecure. Well, get over it. Okay, man up, swallow, do whatever you have to do. Slap yourself, and then get into. Okay, right now I'm going to pretend to be a businessman. I'm going to pretend to walk through Money 2020 or Bitcoin 2025, and I'm going to interact with people and do the bloody best job I can. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to leave late. Not that does not mean that I don't have some insecurity. Okay, you can't learn how to do something if you already know how to do it. You think somebody throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to you that it's going to be like it's going to be fun. It's going to be 100-hour. I mean, until you've seen a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, dude, like you've never been there, so you're going to be pretty out of your depth. Okay, the only way to get out of your depth is to get out of your depth. The only way to learn how to play in the depth is to swim in deeper water. And you're probably going to be insecure, nervous until you bust through that shit and figure out you can do it. Um, okay, this is what I want to go to. I am going to move subjects here. We talked last week about um, a few writers, and I want to go back to that. And I don't know if any of you guys picked up books. I hope you did. Um, let's see here. I was just looking at some information. Um, the phrase "I am" reflects a divine spark. We're talking about Norman Vincent Peale today. Norman Vincent Peale wrote a bunch of books in the 50s on positive thinking. His members would affirm "I am" statements. I am capable. I am abundant. And his thought process was you're rewiring the subconscious. Again, this isn't my ideas, okay? I have no new ideas, I don't think. I'm not sure I've had an original thought in my life. I have read a lot of material. I don't need to have an original thought. It's awesome if I do. That's a whole different discussion. I'm not convinced if you believe there is a God, then I'm not sure you have an original thought. But I have enough great mentors and people who live lives that I want to emulate, I want to live like. And I just need to read the material of people that live lives the way I want to live a life to determine whether or not, to determine my pathway. I don't think you have to guess at this. If you want to be like P. Diddy, I mean, I kind of know what would need to be done to be like P. Diddy. It's probably not my deal. So we're rewiring the subconscious, right? Joseph Mercy suggested that the power of your subconscious mind is to do just that. It reshapes the personal reality by replacing fear with faith, fostering confidence and purpose. Now, this confidence thing, I heard this on X today, both about the confidence and also people that seem to be offended by that confidence. Okay, I want to make sure I get back to that because I think that's a big deal for a lot of people. I think it's a big block. Your ability to do something begins to improve, and then all of a sudden people are saying that you're confident, you're arrogant, you're overconfident, you're super confident, you're too confident, and then it's about your ego. But I wonder if those people that are criticizing have the same amount of action that you do. And my suspicion is these people are complaining, criticizing you for your ego, when indeed what they're doing, by the way, that ego is the thing that gave you the action. While they're criticizing, complaining on their own passive aggressive action, that is an action, by the way. Criticizing another human being for doing anything, good or bad, is an action. And I would say that when you criticize someone else for trying to stretch out their sharing their own communication, and you criticize it and make it small and make it about something negative, you might want to look in the mirror there, big boy, big girl, because you probably see something in me that I'm either doing or not doing that you see in yourself that you should or should not be doing. That has truly been true for me. When I start criticizing someone, I immediately, immediately do not pass go. I immediately ask myself, what in that person reminds me of me? And it's either something they're doing or something they're not doing. That's the great over, by the way. Okay. My experience is the great wrongdoing is not what I do. It's what I don't do. It's what I don't say. That's why I am outspoken, because I'm not willing to die in apathy. I'm not going to die and be apathetic. Oh, Gary was apathetic. Gary could have talked about all the atrocities on COVID-19, but he didn't because he was scared. He was scared not to be liked by 60% of the people. Well, that's just not my deal. So I can't live with myself that way. Okay, so back to Peel. Faith as a creative force. I just did some writing up here, got some stuff. So faith is a creative force, drawing from Peel's idea that faith in God and self. Now, back to ego. First off, if you believe in God, then ego must be a part of the deal, right? Unless the ego came from the devil. I don't know. Look, what is ego really? What is ego? Okay, ego is. I mean, do I have a really powerful ego if I tell you that I am not good at machinery and fixing cars and motorboats and bicycles? I'm horrible at it. No, don't know anything about it. Now, is that me having a really negative ego or a distorted ego? Because I'm really good at certain things. Okay, I am awesome at certain things. I'm a good communicator. Now, am I a narcissist all of a sudden, an ego freak, a complete psychopath on self? No, I'm good at speaking. Okay. I'm comfortable with it. Or I'm good at math. I'm very good at math. I'm good at high risk situations. It doesn't make me, I'm not saying I'm the the end all of end alls, but I need that confidence. And my confidence grows as the more I do something. And that's why I have very little confidence in fixing a motorboat because every time I touch one, it breaks. That's my experience. And guess what? I've already decided I don't know anything about motorboats. I made that decision, and that's probably going to be with me for the rest of my life. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That was one of the books we talked about last week. It reinforces a burning desire. Okay, a burning desire. If you can find your burning desire, man, it is the deal. Okay, this is. I mean, if you can find your burning desire, that thing that makes you become, you have no other choice but to be obsessed. And I will restate that obsession has served me well, very well. In fact, if you look at all the genius people on this planet, I think you're going to find obsession is a very key and common principle, characteristic of the particular personality, or the personality of the person that's actually making the big change. Remember Jimi Hendrix. Okay, all the great people in the world busted out of the norm. They didn't stay in the norm. I admire the champions, the extremists, the most outrageous. That's what I. That's what gets my attention, and it's what holds my attention. And I think it's what gets your attention, and it's what holds your attention. Norman Vincent Peale. This is really, really important. Okay, this thing between confidence, ego, and then put on top of it worry. So ego, confidence, and then this insecurity thing. The insecurity. Break the worry habit, Peale said, replacing anxiety with trust. Okay, how do I get trust? I do. I do, and then I know. I don't theorize, and then I know. I theorize and I think. I do, and I know. I can read every book I could possibly read about speaking and communicating. But until I begin communicating, and until I make mistakes communicating, and until I rectify those mistakes and become a master at communicating, I'm probably only a theorist, but I'm not a great communicator. I am a great communicator the moment I stand on a stage or I put my nose on a camera and a microphone and I communicate, whether it's scripted or unscripted. It matters not. What matters is that I'm actually just doing it over and over and over and over again. I become comfortable. I become a master at doing that. Now, am I an ego freak because I am saying I am near a master communicator? I don't know that I am or not, but I'm most certainly closer to being a master communicator today than I was when I was 25 years old. And I'm never going to be a master boat builder or fixer. Okay, it's just not my deal. Now, what have I done by doing that? Remember, if you go back, okay, I am consistent. If we go back, I've always said, hey, look, in order to understand who you are and what you are trying to achieve, figure out what it is you don't want to do, don't like doing, don't have no interest in doing. Bucket every one of those up. Spend if you're like Buck today, if you just want to get into it, write down everything that you're never going to be great at. You're not going to be great at. You don't want to be great at. You don't want to do it. You have zero interest, and stop making yourself feel bad about it. Then you're going to have a bucket of things left over that shouldn't be very many. I am not going to be a rocket scientist. I'm not going to be a chemist. I'm not going to sell pharmacy. I'm not going to be a salesman. I'm not going to be a pharmacist. I don't get involved with drugs. I don't do that. I don't do this. I don't do this, right? I don't like these type of women. I don't like these type of people. Okay? Whatever. Just get rid of all this. I am never going to be a rowboat enthusiast. I don't like loud boats. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you're doing. Okay, just boom. Okay, I'm not going to be a doctor. Awesome. That leaves me with a small selection of things that I think the universe probably has your frequency and you just haven't tapped into it, right? I mean, staying on this frequency is very, very hard. A guy like me, in fact, a guy like you can easily get distracted. And the distraction will come. See, a guy like me, I will get distracted by lots of little, because I get lots of temptations, right? I see a lot of the world. So there's lots of little things that Gary can do. I think some people do nothing, so there's no stimuli. So they're a little bit hiding, okay? So there's me, I get all the stimuli, and like, oh, wow, let me go do this, let me go do, I get tempted into other frequencies. And by tempted, I mean distracted, but they're not frequencies that really, really fit me, right? And it's not to say that I only have one bloody frequency, but I most certainly am not going to be, what's the word for it? I'm not going to be integrated. I'm not going to be, it's not my harmonic, right? It's not the right frequency. Like, just imagine if there is a frequency, I think there must be a band that fits me better than maybe it fits someone else. Okay. And that doesn't mean any of these frequencies are right or wrong. It means they're singing a different song, they're making a different sound, they are achieving a different purpose. See, I don't really know what my purpose is. And I think that means that, well, if I don't know what my purpose is, it doesn't mean you don't know. It just means I don't know what my purpose is. Couldn't define it. I mean, I say that. Couldn't define it. I just said that I am a very good person. I mean, does it have to get more complicated than that? When I just said that, I said, no, dude, I am a good person. That is at my very core. Like I literally just said, I don't have my purpose. And I'm like, well, that's just not true. At my very core, I am a good person. I don't really want to hurt anyone. I don't. Um, yeah, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to take anything from anyone. Um, so see, I mean, this, I just, see, I just ran into something that I think people do that I just literally said, hey, look, I don't really know what my purpose is. And then smack within seconds, no, less than a second, I said, no, I do know what my purpose is. I am a good person. In all my actions, I am a good person. Now that's really impacted me just now. Okay, like you may not understand that that's really impacted me, but the reason I keep pounding on it is that I think it would be very easy for many people to pass that up and to say, well, that's not really a purpose. No, there is nothing more core than that. It doesn't have to be complicated, is my point. Okay. So now I realize, oh, first principle, I am a good person in all activities. Okay. That's first principle. It doesn't mean I'm not a billionaire. Okay. Doesn't mean that I'm not like a teacher. Doesn't mean that I'm not whatever, a great painter. It just means that my first principle core is I am a good person in all activities. I do not become a prostitute. See, this is a deal for me, okay? Like, here's another first principle thing. In fact, why don't you sit down and go, hey, what is a first principle? The first principle is core, man. It's baseline. You can't, you know, it's the thing that if you fix, everything else is fixed. Okay. It's the thing, the first principle. What is your first principle? My first principle is I'm a good person in all activities. Now, what is my first principle that I won't do? Right? Like there's just certain things that I'm not going to do because they violate. Okay. Now, I will not lie. I do not lie to accomplish what I want. I'm not going to step on you to get what I want. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to use you. I'm not going to pretend to be one frequency to interlace with your frequency just so that you think something else. That's uncool. Okay. I start manipulating my own energy and harmony or harmonic and frequency to like, you know, tease you or to trick you. Uncool, man. It's uncool for me. Okay. It's uncool for me. And I understand that when you're under pressure and you're trying to do a deal and you've got bills to pay, but like this is when you decide whether you're going to be a prostitute or not. And that's that was my first principle that I will not do. I will not and do not prostitute myself for anything anymore. I have before. I think every human being on this planet has prostituted themselves in some way or fashion. And by prostitute, I mean becoming something that you're not to achieve something or to not achieve something. Right? So I will not, for anything, become a prostitute. It's a fucking first principle for me. I mean, key. No, under no circumstances, no money, no amount of pleasure, nothing. Okay. So big first principle for me. I can't imagine anyone not being able to write that down as a primary goal. That's most certainly I do not want to do that. And I think there's a lot of ways to do that beyond selling your body. I can sell my mind. I can sell my soul. I can sell my belief system. I can alter myself, make myself smaller. There's a lot of things I can do to urinate on the universe's gift. And that's what we're here about talking about, right? We're not talking about mediocrity or medium. I'm actually here to challenge you guys, all 2,300 of you, that you're not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I need to explore more. Okay. Like I've read these books. I should be reading these books on a regular basis. Okay. Like this is beautiful material. It is like, it's, you know, these daily rituals. Like I left for a week. Well, I've got some plants. Those Japanese plants, the bonsais, and I'm trying to grow those. Bloody things are hard to grow. It requires a lot of consistent nurturing. Okay, like daily nurturing. I've lost two of them already. I mean, I'll probably do okay with them. I would encourage everyone to get something, a plant from a seed and grow it, and just see how you take care of life. Do you forget? Does it die? Do you even enjoy doing it? Um, I find having living things around me is really good. Not that I need more responsibilities, but I don't know. There's something about having life around me, and then life that I have to be responsible for. You hear my dogs barking and everything. Sometimes I complain about the dogs. Um, but the energy, for me anyway, the energy. I like having really cool, positive energy around me. But if I know people that can't grow a plant, okay, just can't grow a plant, man. Their frequency just is not set up to grow plants. Um, I most certainly would look at that today and go, wow, that's seems like that's not optimal, right? Like, really, can't take care of something that's got a life. To me, that's something that I would work on. Um, Global vision. Okay, this is going to continue reading on here a little bit. I am mindset fosters hope, innovation, and cooperation. A collective I am mindset. What we're doing here fosters hope, innovation, and cooperation, countering society's fear based narratives and reshaping the outcomes for and of society. Man, come on. Okay, we can do this. What I saw in Bitcoin Miami, Vegas, we have an army. Okay, it's not an army of rich people. It's not an army of Bitcoin. It's an army of spiritual people. It is an army of spiritual people. People that are breaking the dogma of yesteryear. James Allen's awesome author, by the way. I think he wrote "As a Man Thinketh." Yeah, James Allen, "As a Man Thinketh." Um, Beautiful book. Okay, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The I am affirmation shapes identity through conscious thought control. Emmett Fox, another great author, emphasizes on divine mind alignment. Divine mind alignment, teaching that the I am connects to God's infinite power and the impact it rewires subconscious. Living a manifesting, purpose driven life, reshaping personal reality with divine alignment. You got to have a bad frequency, dude. You got to have some evil frequency here if you don't like this stuff. Okay, if this doesn't, um, and by the way, okay, there have been times in my life when I read this and I just want to smash it out the window. My frequency's off. So I'm not being judgmental. Okay, you just gotta like, whoa, frequency's off. The frequency's off. You got to admit where you are. Okay, I actually would do it. Where am I today? Where am I today? List the things where you are today, right? Like, and what does that mean? Hey, where am I with me today? Where am I with me? Okay. Do I like myself? Rate myself. Do I like myself from 1 to 10? Okay. 1 being love, 10 being nice. Please don't tell me there's anybody that's a 10. I don't think anybody's at a 10, and you shouldn't be at a 1. Okay. But I have a relationship with myself. My relationship with myself, I rate as a 1 to 10. My relationship with other people, others, okay, how's that one? Might be horrible, right? Might be 1, might be 2, might be 15. No, it can't be 15. It's 1 to 10, okay? My life with, maybe like groups, okay, like business or Bitcoin community or church, okay? So these are all like areas of your life. These are areas of my life. Hey, how do I do with animals, man? Okay. Maybe with animals, I'm lower than I am with groups. How do I do with the concept of a spiritual life, right? Oh, I have a spiritual life too, right? I have a mental life. I have an intellectual life, right? I have an artistic, creative life. There's so many areas of my frequencies, right? Like these are things that are key and core to me. Me, others, groups, purpose. Hey, the group provides a purpose for me, right? Spirituality, life forms, spirit, mental, intellectual. Many, many, many bands of different frequencies. Jimi Hendrix sat in a frequency. Janis Joplin sat in a frequency. They just focused on their deal. See, now, were they off in other areas? Of course they were. They both died before they were 30 years old, right? I mean, and maybe they died, maybe they were supposed to live. Look, I would prefer to live 30 years of rock and freak and roll than 70 or 80 years of boredom, vanilla, gray, bunch of prescription drugs, antidepressants, reality TV, soap operas, failed marriages, failed kids, failed society. I mean, come on, okay? I would rather live 30 years. I would rather live 3 years of extreme life than 100 years of nothing. It's just like, it's a no brainer. What happened to us, huh? We should be admiring the champions, like we should be embracing the rareness, the crazy gifts in each and every one of us. If just we started saying, I am when I am like 3, I am a great communicator, I am a soldier of truth, I am a great warrior of whatever God is. Whatever good and God and right is, I am a great soldier and defender of such. And if I say this to myself over and over and over again, which by the way seems to align very, very well with my energy, I feel like a warrior. When I am the most happy, I am a warrior, fighting a good battle with other good people like me. I dig that, man. Allen said the disciplined mind overcomes adversity by focusing on virtue. Divine truth, Emmett Fox said, divine truth dissolves fear. Complimenting Vincent Peale's worry breaking. Okay. Look, worry breaking, persistence. What are we hearing here? Okay. Discipline, mind, overcoming focus, overcoming adversity by focusing on virtue. Focus on the virtue. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have to identify with the negative. I have to figure out what's, pounding me. Every interaction I have in life, instead of me looking at myself as if I'm a failure or a winner, good or bad, perhaps I should look at it as road signs, a yield, a stop sign, a yellow light, a green light, a red light. I just need to get into the right frequency, which means I need to get in the right road, going to the right place. I think sometimes people are just driving around there with no intention. Okay. Wow. There's a word. Bang, bang. Okay. Now, see, intention, I'm going to write down under first principle. I think first principle, the intention is massively important. Massively important. I know I can be a little hyperbolic, but I'm just going to say it again. Okay. The intention is massively important. Your intention about what it is you're trying to accomplish, be, exist as, I think is core, man. Okay. I mean, core. And that's why I said I am a good person in all activities. Hey, that's my intention, right? See, that's the key. That's the first principle. So you need to ask yourself, what is your intention? My intention is to get filthy rich. Okay. If your intention is to get filthy rich, you will get filthy rich if you continue to focus on that as your intention. And by the way, that is not a bad intention. I would remove the filthy part. I am divinely wealthy. I am extremely rich. And make sure that you define the word rich and wealthy, by the way. Just because you think you understand what rich and wealthy or any other word, by the way, does not mean that you're subconscious, that there is not another part of you that doesn't um, manipulate or distort or confuse your understanding what wealth and rich is to theirs. Did I say theirs? Like as if there's multiple personalities here? I do think that the subconscious and the conscious do not define things in the same way. So, rich for me is, I'm pretty sure, a very different definition than it is for you. Wealthy is a different definition for you. Alive is a different definition for you than me. And there'll be parts of me that those words will have different meanings. So my intention is really important. My intention in what I'm not going to do and become is massively important. So again, these binaries, right? I am not. What I'm trying to do by the I am not is for you to find your burning desire. See, if I can find my burning desire, man, it just gets so much easier. It gets so much easier. And I do believe, I have no proof of this, none whatsoever. Okay. But I would bet $1 trillion. I would bet every dollar I have in my life that every human being has some reason to be here. Like there's some special code, some puzzle they're here, something that makes their burning desire brighter and burn hotter and stronger than mine. And that all these people play a really, really special. It's like they create this massive ripple, right? And we're so busy, we spend so much of our time trying to smooth the water out instead of like promoting the ripple. I'm going to promote the ripple, okay? I'm going to jack this thing up, put a wave behind it. I want to uplift people, okay? I want to bring people. That's my intention, okay? My intention is to ignite 1,000,000 great souls, ignite them into action. That's freaking cool, dude. Ignite 1,000,000 great souls into action. Pretty ambitious, huh? It, how do you feel when I get outrageous? Right? How do you feel when you get outrageous? See, I think people like they love the Jimi Hendrix. They love the whoever you look at as a wow, look at that guy. They are extreme people. They either have extreme voices or extreme abilities to write. I mean, look at Stephen King. I hate his politics. Don't really like what he stands for, but his writing capacity is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, unparalleled amount of writing. Can't take that away from the guy. So intention followed by action. Okay. And quite frankly, if you hey, can you give me I'm live here. I'm live. Um, I'm dying here. I get my kids are like literally walking in here. Um, so let me see if I can repose myself here. Um, I want to just walk through a couple of, if you guys got a pencil, okay. Sermon on the Mount, Emmett Fox wrote 1934. Okay. That is a book you must get. If you're not going to go get it, like just understand you're something in you is fighting this. Okay. I will pay you for the book back if you don't dig it. You have to read the whole thing. If you don't dig it, I will give you your money back. Okay? Power Through Constructive Thinking, 1940. Find and Use Your Inner Power, 1941. The Ten Commandments, 1953. Other works, The Mental Equivalent, The 7-Day Mental Diet. Okay, one cat wrote all this stuff. Emmett Fox, Fox. Next guy, Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. That is a must-have book. Okay. If you have a child, you should buy that book and give it to the kid for his 18th birthday or 17th or 16th. The Art of Living, You Can Win, 1950. The Positive Power of Jesus Christ, 1980. Other works, 40 other works. There's so much material available for you and that to fertilize the the wealth of soil you have in your mind. Okay, the spirit you have just needs to be watered, fertilized, and loved, man. Paid attention to. Okay, stick your intention on your garden. Okay, the universe gave you this garden. We spend no time taking care of it, cultivating it, tilling it. Okay, every now and then you need to just cut the whole thing up and start over. Okay. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, 1937. We don't need any new shit, dude. You must get that book, Think and Grow Rich, okay? And you should read it, the whole thing. Don't do a summary, read the whole damn book. 13 principles covered: desire, faith, persistence to achieve wealth and success, focus, thought, and action. He wrote a book called The Law of Success in 1928, a multi volume work detailing 17 principles of achievement, emphasizing mindset, planning, and collaboration. We always forget about the collaboration part. W. Clement Stone and he wrote a book in 1960 called Success Through Positive Mental Attitude. It's like I would buy that book tomorrow morning. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, a must read. And he wrote so many books, it was stupid. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, 1963. Your Friend, The Subconscious, 1965. I have not read that book, but I will. Okay. The subconscious, I have at least two personalities in me. Um, I'm sure somebody's going to, maybe use that against me one day on a recorded thing. But I do believe that I have a composite, a collection of not personalities. Okay. Perhaps agendas, right? Like multiple things on different levels for my own needs, right? Like family needs or personal needs or physical needs, or, there's lots of different parts of me. I mean, I don't want to paint 24 hours a day. I would not like to do business. I love business. Business is stimulating for me. Sex is stimulating for me, right? Like I like being with someone. I like touching another human being. These are all things that are desires anyway of me that I like or want at different levels at different times during my life, right? Um, so most certainly I have different intentions, agendas, um, and not discovering who I am and who I am not is it would be like buying a business and you never inventoried it. It would be like buying a stock and not knowing what the stock is. And gosh, I know a lot of people do that. Okay. That's why we're in this shit storm of a planet because people aren't looking within. People aren't looking within. I want to read something um, to you guys, and it was something I saw. I normally don't get irritated by people that are negative Nellies, um, but it was very interesting. I saw a notification yesterday of someone who they went out of their way. I'm going to see if I can actually find this thing because I think sometimes people that do, I don't know, things that are poor behavior. I actually, I think sometimes we don't use we don't use bad examples enough for other people. Um, I'm gonna try and find this so I don't have to just communicate about it. Uh, let's see. I'm probably not going to be. I got so many hits on this thing. Anyway, some gentleman made the comment that there was a space that was being run. The guy goes out of his way. I just want to. It's just such odd behavior. When it goes out of his way, um, pencils up my face, and on the space I was either hosting or co-hosting it, and said, don't know what it is about this guy, but every time he comes into a space, I leave, and really wanted to show it to you because I don't know, you got 30 or 40 hits on it. And I'm like, what would make someone go out of their way to post something just to tell people, hey, every time Gary Cardone comes in this room, I feel disgusted and I'm out. I don't know why would someone do that? Okay. And I'm going to maintain that the only reason someone would do that is that something inside of him, and I'm sorry I can't find this thing, but something inside of him is really triggered by me. Okay, it might be my accent. Um, it doesn't really offend me. Okay, there's 30 or 40 people don't like me. I don't even know why you guys follow me. Okay, I would I would encourage you to spend your time saying nice things about people. And if you don't find yourself able to say nice things about people, you might want to find out, are you just negative Nelly, and or is it your job to be, Mr. Critical, um, and that's your role in the world, is to tell people that they they're you don't like them. I want to support people that are doing things, that are taking action in a way that is creating a positive ripple. I encourage you to look. I encourage people to look at the intention and look at the what the person's saying, and is it consistent with their actions. I want to say, first off, right now I'm feeling like I've done a horrible job today. This has been I'm all over the place. Um, the I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and have you log off, guys. I'm not taking people on stage, so coming in and putting the camera on doesn't help me focus. But I appreciate you anyway. Let's go through, maybe read a few. Got 2,800 people in here. James Smith's in the room. Thank you, James, for being here. God put each and every one here for a specific reason and purpose. I agree. I agree. Still don't know what he or she is, but I do agree, man. Miss Positive's in the room. It pushes you to grow reading. A1. Thanks, Ivy. Gets more congrats, family. My father, Mrs. Positive, my father had those books for us. They help focus drive. Hey, Miss Positive, I know you're an awesome person. You go get those books. Okay. One day those books aren't going to be out there. It's just an unbelievable collection of information from those writers. They help me. Okay. That's all I'm saying. It has helped me immensely. I'm trying to give you, instead of me just coming on here going blah, 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 because I don't believe in motivation. Okay. I don't believe you can come in here and, well, let me just say this. Okay. If you're just coming in here just to do a feel good, that's cool. But you can, like, motivating you, or Bob motivating. The motivation is going to come from within you. And when you figure out what your purpose is here. And motivation only lasts so long. If I can motivate you into a book, if I could motivate you into doing a challenge with me for 30 days and writing I am every morning and I am every night and really digging in, if you were to spend an hour today just writing who you are as a human being, what it is you're trying to accomplish, do an inventory on the people around you that are not consistently with you. Okay. Not consistently with you. Okay. There are people, like, if I make a shitload of money from this Bitcoin thing, they're going to hate me. You know why they're going to hate me? Because they hate themselves for not making the move. There'll be some people that will want me to lose here. Okay. There are going to be people that are going to be very disappointed. By the way, let's just go to the good news. There are going to be people that are going to be very disappointed. And it's just so funny how let's see, how do I say this? For 5 years, I've had the FTC and class action lawyers out of Tampa. Let's see, what's their names? Whoever represents Janet Sealer and Charlene Bavinkoff. Let's just go get there. Let's go get these lovely terrorist lawyers' names. Who the heck are these lawyers? I will come back to the lawyers. Nonetheless, as of last Friday, let's see here. Shall I read this? Defendant Gary Cardone Defendant Gary Cardone's motion for summary judgment is granted. Count two is dismissed for lack of RICO standing, and the case will proceed to trial on count one, which is against the company. So Gary Cardone has been the whole count was dismissed. Okay, this is a RICO filing via class action against me, against my ex-wife, partner, and the company. This is outrageous. Okay, it spent years dealing with this matter. The FTC launched a suit, cost the company $7 million to defend against, only to be fined $100,000 just to get them to back off. 4 years. Within 1 month of that case being settled, these class action clowns. I mean, this should be illegal in this country. These class action guys go after us. Most certainly, they were trying to come after me and my money. Zero claims suggesting RICO, zero red flags on RICO. I met a customer twice in my whole life. They made things up about me renting planes and taking this guy all around. He flew on my airplane once, going in the same direction I was going. Anyway, your man, dismissed, absolved of all sins. I think I'm still going to be a witness in the bloody thing, but it's this is about having a clean, a clean closet, and one, I'm really grateful that it worked out. Two, I could not possibly wish this on anyone. Three, if you and I don't do something about this, you too will be attacked. Okay, this was all about me being in crypto. This was about me being in Trump. And this is about me being a big donor to Trump and also being outspoken about the insanity of what's going on in the credit card industry. Insanity, okay? The amount of crime occurring in the credit card industry and being done so by the major players in that industry through their monopoly and duopoly construct. It's disgusting. The amount of money poor people are paying for a system that is so broken. And that's why this whole thing started on Chargebacks 911 many years ago. Anyway, your man's out of it. I've got no problems. No one can say shit about me anymore. And hopefully CB911 will get the case kicked out. Anyway, sorry to go on that, but I wanted to thank the universe for getting this thing behind me, because it has most certainly been a drag on the system. I've had top firms in the world actually say, "Hey, Gary, I can't do business with you until that's done," which I can't. I understand. I mean, they were nervous. Can't blame them. But our country, okay. Let me tell you something. Had I not had money, there's no way. I would have had to bend over and take it right up the bum bum. Okay. So now, an interesting note, talking about energy, positive and negative energy, an interesting note that the FTC went out of their way to socialize their lawsuit 3 or 4 years ago, which led to the class action, of course. What is very interesting is this has been out for over a week. Not a word of it. No socialization. There was a CoinDesk guy or some crypto guy, publisher, news guy that has been begging my lawyers for months. Hey, give us a comment. Give us a comment. They're always in the courtroom. Where are you guys at? This file. This was dismissed. I don't see you publishing that. Now, why am I saying all that? Okay, you guys have to be very attentive of the news and the information coming into your ears. Do not believe everything you hear. Okay, do not believe everything you hear. Man, it's amazing. You start getting some power and somebody sprinkles some bad shit on you. Don't always just assume that things are exactly as you think they are. And this is why I keep getting back to being judgmental and critical. I have had people, I mean, just this week, I mean, this guy said he didn't like me, calls me a particular religion. Like, I don't know why you guys assume you know anything about anyone. You make comments about people that, one, going to get you in trouble one day. Two, it's wasting your time and energy. Like, why are you focused on me, dude? Focus on yourself, okay? Listen, I'm seeing people in this room right now. Like, for instance, I saw Dana. Okay, Dana Howe. Let me tell you something. Dana Howe, she uh, is an extremely able human being. And I will bet you that she doesn't even know how able she is. Okay, not a chance. Okay, but this is me. I think I'm operating at 10 or 12% of my operating capacity. So it's not a, that's a compliment, man. Okay, it's a compliment. Okay, and there are so many people in here. You're not, there's 3,000 people in here. Okay, 3,000 people in here. You're not coming in here because you are trying to waste your time or not do anything. You know there's something, okay? All you have to do, you know, if I take this this thing right here. What is this? It's a plug, right? If I take this and stick it into a 220-volt uh, outlet, it's not going to work. However, if I put this into 110, man, and I have my thing, you know, the frequency is going to work. Find your frequency. Okay, it doesn't matter what the frequency is. Find your frequency, and it becomes so easy, man. It becomes so easy. And then once you find the frequency, stop listening to everything else. Get in that freaking zone, man. I mean, like, immerse yourself in the frequency. Again, obsession. Now you may disagree with this, okay? In fact, I would encourage you to actually challenge this. Do you believe that obsession is the way to achieve greatness? Or are you scared of obsession? Does obsession freak you out? I think obsessions freak some people out. They're like, oh, it's just too extreme. It's dangerous. Addictive personalities, this, that, or another. But you know, the truth is, if I look around, find me someone that was a genius that wasn't a little wacky obsessed. So if that's true, if you can't find anybody that's really brilliant, that's not also a little obsessive, it may be that obsession is a key component of success. Obsession may be a key component to success. In fact, I would say that obsession is a key component to a full life, an exciting full life. Obsession. I mean, like deep passion. Okay. And I don't think I can have deep passion for everything. By the way, as I just say that, with deep passion may come really challenging stories. Deep passion may come with ups and downs that are extreme. Deep passion may come with, you know, stories that are aligned with you know, poor decisions and great decisions. And by that I mean, you know, the greatest stories I have to tell. Well, many of the great stories I have to tell were, you know, some of them were born from poor decisions. Actually, you know, they make the most interesting stories. Doesn't mean they make the most successful stories, right? And I'm not suggesting that we're going to ever create this. Well, I shouldn't say that you can't create this perfect life, but plan. Uh-oh, lost my signal. What happened here? Let's just see, guys. Sorry. Um, why would that happen now? Hmm. Well, guys, it may be code for ending church a bit early today. I don't know what's happened here. Um, seems like my video just went completely wacky. There we go. Change cameras. I'll end up here pretty quick because this is not the camera I like using. Um, guys, really appreciate that you're here today. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties and the interruptions. Um, I would implore you, okay, if you have not gotten some of these books, okay, I should actually probably just sell these books in my store. I should probably, if anybody knows how to get me hooked up with merch and how to do something like that without me like having to buy 8 million books, but I would love to have a whole collection of books that are sold through here. Or I don't know, somebody knows how to do all that stuff because I haven't really approached this from a commercial standpoint. Some of it's why you see me not so organized, but um, maybe people would dig that. One thing I do need is I need a merch guy because I have this great idea after the crypto Bitcoin Vegas thing. I walked away going, wow, I have an idea about we're going to have to create a little club here. Maybe it's the I Am Club or something like that. Anyway, guys, really appreciate you. Uh, a bit apologetic for my scattered brain today. I am so blessed to have 3,200 people in my universe, in my life that are, dude, you guys are interested in expanding your frequency, okay, making it richer, deeper, higher, better, longer, louder. I encourage you to like get extreme, be crazy, be obsessed, find what you were put here for, man. Okay. Like all you have to do is ask yourself, why am I? Why am I here? I am here to do good, man. I am obsessed with finding out why the hell I'm here, right? I can do this. You can do this. It's going to make it easier for your children. It's going to make it easier for your wife, for your ex-wife, for your soon-to-be ex-wife, your boyfriend, your soon-to-be boyfriend, whatever your situation is. It's going to make it easier for everyone if you start thinking in terms of energy, frequency. Hey, does that align with me? And by the way, you see a little bit of energy. You know, you see a guy that's got a lot of energy, but it's misdirected. Don't tell him it's misdirected, man. Dude, you have freaking awesome energy. How would you like to like make that into a laser? See the difference? Good. Whoa, dude, you have so much energy. That needs to be focused. That can be so dangerous. You guys are much, 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 much more powerful than you think. Much, much. No one has fertilized and watered the brilliance of your garden enough. I'm going to implore that you do so. Take the time today. I am, answer the question. Tonight before you go to bed, I am, answer the question. Last thing, only thing you have to pay for this today, do something nice for someone. Okay. Go out of your way, do something nice for someone, preferably someone you don't know, and you cannot take credit for it. Okay, you cannot take credit for it. Send some money to somebody, give some flowers, help them out of the grocery store, fix a tire. I don't know, but do more good than you do harm, and give more than you take. Ask yourself, am I a giver or a taker? There are only two types of people in the world. There are givers and there are takers. I would ask yourself, everybody you ever meet, hey, is that a giver or a taker? Love you guys. Thank you very much. it is because you're here that I'm here. So make no mistake about it. Okay. You're not here. I'm not here. So I really appreciate whatever, even if you're in deep, deep, deep pain right now and you're like, like your life sucks, you're here because of that. And I want to thank you for your pain, man, because you wouldn't be here otherwise. Okay. So there is sometimes when you're just messed up, man, sometimes you just got to get through it, but know that it's because you're in pain that you're here. It's making up more energy. Okay. More people are coming into the space because you're here. So I'm just trying to find, sometimes I just try to find a way to make just even the greatest pain. Okay. There must be some value in this, right? Like at least you're going to be able to share one day what it felt like. You're going to be able to have empathy with that person when they come into your life and go, hey, look, man, I know how that feels. And this is what happened. And this is how I got out of it. So love you guys. You guys have a great day. Bring the power to everybody you can and have an awesome week.